All right, everyone, we're going to do a lesson from Bob's Songbook. So we did our Blues Academy for our 20 or so members this morning. We finished Blueberry Hill, and we're doing Ain't No Sunshine in March, and we did Hound Dog in January. So it's been fun to do that. So today we're going to do a little bit of something for the YouTube community. Thank you guys for getting us to 15,000. It's pretty awesome. So we're going to work out a Bob songbook, and I did this one song specifically because this last week I've been telling you about the use of the fifth, the sixth note, and also how that turns in the flat seven when you have the minor third. So we have this. So I chose this IMA. It's called the iMusic Academy Blues Solo Transcribe. And so this particular song is in Bob's Songbook Volume 1, but I just want to talk about how it uses the fifth, sixth note and also the pentatonic scale, which has a really nice sound to it. So if you are enjoying this as you come in, at least leave a like and leave a comment once the comment section is available. But really appreciate each one of you, especially hanging out with me and learning about music. Keep it fun. Here we go. So Patrick was asking yesterday about certain notes you use for the sort of the jazz sound, and I always say that for jazz sound and a blues sound, I like to start out on the flat seven. It gives me just that feeling of, okay, I'm in the jazz mood, I'm in the blues mood, and I'm feeling. If I'm not feeling it, I go to flat seven. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. It's not a bad idea to sing. Don't worry about how we sound, right? We're just practicing getting out vocally whatever's in us, and it will help your playing also to be able to sing your phrases out loud, and you'll get better at the more you do it. But this idea of da 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 da. If I go to the F chord, I just need to change one note. Ba da 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 da. So in addition to the flat seven, which we're not really going to be talking about too much today, but a little bit on this song, you have this idea of the fifth, the sixth, and the root. That's the way this song starts off. It's a very simple blues bass line in the left hand. We have a trio version of this, but all we're doing is root fifth to root six, and I like the fingering 5-2 to 5-1 on this quarter note bass line. So here's what you're going to do. Let me make sure. Okay, I am live. I just want to make sure I'm good. Boo-doo-da, 2 and 3. This is the kind of song that you not only want to get in your fingers, but then transpose it in another key. Because what is it doing? The fifth note of whatever key you're in, the sixth note in the root, ba-da-da, which is a very simple phrase, but you could put that into all keys. So if you said, okay, I'm in the key of F, what's the fifth note of the F scale? 5-6 root. Bo-do-dum. Okay, go back to C. If I'm in B flat, 5-6 root. If I'm in E flat, 5-0 E flat 6 root. You get the idea. These are great things to get into your playing. Also, this idea of if you have and then it goes up to the sixth note on top. So we start off on the fifth note and you go up to the sixth note, which is the minor third of C, but also the flat seven and F. What's nice about this is just like in Blues Volume 1, you have da 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 da. It's just one idea, emphasizing the importance of the sixth note in our blues playing. Right? We can do so much, even with the idea of the first 5 notes of the blues scale. That's the first shape we learn at iMusic Academy, but then you go down 3 half steps, and now you're at the first 4 notes of the A blues scale. And all of those notes are going to work. It doesn't matter what order you do. So if I have this idea as the first part of this blues song, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. What's happening right here in the top half is you have this pentatonic scale. Now, what in the world is a pentatonic scale? If you have a C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you take the 1, the flat third, the fourth, the fifth, and the flat 7, you have this 5-note scale called the minor pentatonic scale. And that's one of the things I like about this particular song is because you're playing the minor pentatonic scale going up bo da 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 da, and then you go up 1, 2, 3, 5, and then you skip up to the octave, and it comes back down da 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 da. But instead of minor pentatonic on the way down, we do the major third, so it hints around at that nice major third sound. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. Another really nice thing is that whenever you have licks like this that start on the sixth, da, 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 and even in this song, ba, da, da, notice that over C, that's the minor third, but over F, ba, da, da, it's the flat 7 of F. So you have these chord tones that are in common. That's the reason you can do these things. So even if I just played this idea, ba, da, da, listen to how it sounds over C, over F. So this sixth note, if I play the first 4 notes of the A blues scale, and 4 and 1, over F, same thing. Over G, same thing. Notes are going to work. So now we also have this minor pentatonic sound, 1 flat 3 4 5 in the root, and then you do 5 3 4 3 bo da ba da 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 da. Then on the next line it repeats the same thing, bo do da, over the F. And I really like what happens at the end of this song. Let me scroll down the music so you guys can see the music. I love what happens here. We're going to go dun dun. So it starts on G, G, B flat, dun dun, da 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 da. So what's happening here is dun dun, top half of the C minor pentatonic, and then it comes down. So use fingering 2 4, 2 1 2 1, 3 2 1 2 3. Let me play that. So it has that nice pentatonic sound that's a little bit different. So if we had the blues scale, it would have that F sharp in there. But sometimes it's nice just to do the pentatonic scale, so you have 1 flat 3 4 5. And I would get you guys to practice, or make sure you're practicing just the pentatonic scale as well. And having that major third is kind of a nice sound. So let's put it all together, and then I'll show you guys the trio version of this, and then we'll call it a day if you guys don't have any questions. So here we go: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so I need to say again, this is one of our blues roadmaps, right from Blues Volume 1. But it's just showing you again the importance of how nice that A note is. If you're in the C blues, you want to hang around on that A note. Da 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 da, getting that minor third. But even when you do that over F, da 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 da, that's the 5 of F. I'm sorry, the 3 of F, the 2 or the 9, either one, and then you get to the flat 7. So that's why that's important, and that's why it works over C or F. Okay, so then when we put it all together, you're going to be using the 5/6 root or this nice top half starting on the A scale, but then the minor pentatonic. Here we go: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so what I love about the very last part of this, it is just the minor pentatonic scale, but starts in the fifth and goes up to the flat seven. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. So when I say it's minor pentatonic, it's all notes out of this 5-note scale: 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7 of the C major scale, and it's not using the F sharp at all, so we don't have that tritone bluesy sound. But it's nice to not have that every now and then. And on the way back down, it goes dun dun. But maybe you want to spend time on just playing that part of the scale. Dun dun. So notice what I'm doing, right? I'm not just playing the blues scale now. I'm listening to the sound of the minor pentatonic. And the way this lick ends up, it does bum bum da 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 ba da. So I could just loop that and listen to the sound. How does it sound over C? Isn't that nice how you have those 5 notes? It's not even the blues scale, it's just a minor pentatonic scale, and you can kind of mix and match that however you want. But what I just did was just playing the last phrase of this blues song, and I did bum bum da 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 da. So even over C. And I'll play that again. Let's listen to how that sounds. G. Again. Okay, so one other thing that I did that I told you is I like to break my minor pentatonic scale up into patterns of fourths. So sometimes I'll do 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you would do that. But I like fourths, notes, groupings of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and spend a little time with that, and then get that sound, and then go up, and then up to here. And one of the songs and licks, several of the licks we have in some of our courses is we go up to the 5th note of the scale, and then you go flat 7, root, and minor third on top. That's a great sound. Even any order that I do is going to work. So I'm still thinking minor pentatonic. I'm not playing the blues scale as it is. I'm not playing that. I said, let's put I told you guys to wrap this up. I'm going to show you how to play the trio version. So stick around for just a minute. And once again, if you are enjoying this little pop-up lesson for the YouTube community, let me know by liking the video if you get a chance. and leaving a comment either right now in the chat or after comments are available, which I think is the next day. Okay, let me go here. That's not where I want to go. Go back. We're going to go to right here. Okay. And let me pull up. Here it is right here. Just to play this again. And then we'll do the trio voicings in just a second. All right, so the first thing to remember as we're wrapping this up is 5, 6, root. A great thing to put in all keys, 5, 6, root, whatever key you're in. So then we're going to do the top half. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, gives you the flat 7 of that. So we're either going to give you the first 4 notes of the A blues scale or the 6th note on top, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which starts or ends up being the flat 7 on the F scale. So here's the song. Pentatonic, major third. Pentatonic. Now here we go. And just by changing the bass line will totally transform the song into a different sound. If I do 8th note bass line, or I could do the New Orleans kind of style if I did 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. So many different bass lines you could do. All right, let's put some chords with this, and then I see we have 4 people. What's probably going to happen is we'll get a bunch of people watching, and then it'll be time to sign off. That's what normally happens. All right, so if you're playing a simple blues, maybe a jazz blues, but this simple arrangement, you're going to want to use a C9 is a great choice for a 3-note voicing. So the bass player's playing his thing down here, and you're going to do 3 of a C scale, flat 7, so not a regular 7 of the C scale, but you're going to flat it, and 9. And the reason you can call that D a 9 is because you're adding to the flat 7, so you're stacking chords together, 3, flat 7, 9. A fantastic, simple 3-note jazz voicing that makes you sound like a pro just by knowing that. And then you have a 9 voicing wants to go to a 13 voicing, and all you have to do is lower the bottom 2 notes, and now you have flat 7, 3, and 13 from an F scale. So make sure you guys realize what's going on there. Whenever you're spelling a chord, you always do it left to right, which is really important. And the other thing is, whatever chord you're trying to spell, think of that particular major scale. So even though I say C9, how do you get a 9 wants to go to a 13 in the blues, a C chord to an F chord, so now F13, and all you have to do is lower the bottom 2 notes by a half step. That gives you flat 7 of an F scale, 3 of an F scale, and D is the 13 now. It's not a 6, it's a 13. Because we have our flat 7, we're adding notes on top. Now this becomes an F13 with that D being up there at the top. So we have a C9 going to an F13, even in this simple arrangement. The only other chord that we need for this is a G13. So we're going to take this voicing and go up to whenever it says G, and we're on this chord right here, flat 7 of a G scale, 3 and 13. Normally G major has 1 sharp, and you say flat 7. How do I get to that G13? Is G is the chord I'm trying to spell, so I go down a whole step, and that will always give you the flat 7 of whatever key you're working on. You go down a whole step, so 2 half steps, that gives me flat 7, 3, and that is not a 6 from G, that's a 13 because I have my flat 7 on the bottom, and I'm stacking chords on top. So we have C9 leads beautifulully into an F13 by going down a half step, and you come back to C9, and at the end you do G13, and then you do 13. And I would use the same fingering for both chords. 5, 2, 1 is really nice, to 5, 2, 1, and then 5, 2, 1. So 5, 2, 1 on all of these. I would practice these voicings with a metronome. The only reason I haven't turned mine on is because there's a little bit of a delay because of my software and the online version of the metronome I'm using. Just enough of a delay to drive me crazy. But if you would, turn on your metronome and get the click where whenever you hear the click, you start counting 2. So it's like this. And you hear 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, 2, 3, so that your click is on 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's one thing I love to teach my students. It doesn't matter of your age or level or ability. When you start using the metronome, there's some creative ways you can get to get that swing feel even using the metronome. And one of the most basic ways, but it's so important, is when you have your click, even a slow click, and you're thinking, how do I play on 2 and 4? You just start counting on beat 2. So if this is going and that's my click, I just go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have that kind of swinging feel with the metronome. And if that makes sense, leave a comment or a like or something to let me know that you understand that, and I'd be happy to help you figure that out. But it's a great exercise to practice. Turn on that metronome, and when you hear it, instead of thinking 1, think 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I have my voicings. Let's put the melody with this, and then we'll sign off for this afternoon. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Go up to G minor right there. All I did is, instead of just staying on C, if you take your pinky up a half step, that gives you G minor, which is 2, 5, G minor to C7 of the F7 you're going to. That's for a later video, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. And you can always do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So another thing I like to tell students is practice different rhythms, left hand only, and be very strict with your rhythm. So maybe you do this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and just that one chord, 2 and 3 and 4. So that's a long short, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You could also do short long, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's not my preferred way to do it, but I want you to practice that. I want you to get used to the habit of doing specific rhythms and try to do it all the way through. Another thing you could do is short, 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 and then try to play the melody all the way through by doing that. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We have 4 people watching now, and do me a favor and hit that like. And if you're not subscribed, I would ask you to go ahead and subscribe to us. I have been doing a lot of videos for our YouTube community, and we do have an academy that is really, I absolutely love every second with those guys. It's pretty amazing. And girls. We have about 20 people, and it's so much fun. We go live minimum of twice a week, and we're doing songs. We have specific goals, and it's a really nice, awesome community. From ages, I think my youngest unofficial member is in his 20s and all the way. And I do have a couple of Jazz Prodigy kids that I let hang out under the radar. But when I say like teenagers that are fantastic. But most of the people in our group, we have up to 86 years young, maybe 87 now. And I absolutely love these guys and girls. It's awesome. We have a great time. And I think you would too. So if you want to learn about it, let me know. Other than that, thank you so much for hanging out at iMusic Academy on YouTube. I really appreciate all the feedback. It does help the algorithm when you comment. And so keep that up and let me know if you need any help with anything. Have a fantastic day. Keep having fun with music, and I will see you guys